everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beats and Bandanas podcast. It's your girl Ken. So we have a lot to talk about, but I don't know, this might be a shorter episode because there's a lot going on tonight as far as music goes. So I don't want to sit here for a long time. You know, I still got to edit this and get it out to y'all tonight. So let's go ahead and jump into it. But first, you already know you better have your green tea or something to drink. I'm not playing with y'all. Delicious. I will put y'all onto this, all right? Anywho, let's get started. Let's talk about how some of the biggest people in the rap game decided to change the world and just drop everything at once this weekend. Like, real talk, I'm not going to be able to sleep properly until Monday. Maybe, if that. There's just too much stuff coming out. So let's start with the man himself, Lil Wayne, okay? So, the whole thing with the Carter 5 dropping on September 21st was not, that's why I wasn't even holding my breath, because he did not confirm it himself. It didn't come out from a tweet, an Instagram post, nothing like that. And then that bogus track list picture had come out with the song She Will that he did with Drake like 500 years ago. So like, of course that couldn't have been the real thing, but you know, he addressed it in a video. He made an announcement a few days ago at like 5 o'clock. Forgot what day it was, but he basically said that he's going to be coming out with the Carter 5 on his birthday, which was the 27th. I was expecting him to drop it at midnight today, all right, the 27th. Although that would have been odd to drop it on a Thursday, but when you say your birthday, my boy, I'm expecting that. And then apparently, like, on the YouTube version of the video, it said the 28th at the end, but the one that I saw, I didn't see the 28th. So whatever, we're gonna get it on the 28th, which is fine. And of course you have people talking about like, man, I don't believe it, I won't believe it till I see it. This man been pushing this album off for years, which is true, very true, because of, you know, Wayne's own personal stuff that was going on, things in the media. But I mean, I feel like he's gonna drop it on the 28th, okay? I really do feel like he is, and I'm really excited to see what's going to be in store on this album, because personally I want to say my favorite one of the Carter albums would be the third one, but I do have a lot of songs that I like from the fourth one. But it's undeniable like how I guess his sound changes from the first one all the way up to the fourth, because there's a lot of different stuff going on from the production and all that stuff. And it's cool to see how it evolved from the first one to the fourth. So with the fifth one, with it being all these years that have passed, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what type of sounds to expect, because regardless, excluding like these albums, his music has just changed over the years, period, with anything. So I'm just very intrigued to see what this album has in store. And then there's been rumors of XXXTentacion being on a track, so I'm really interested in hearing that, because I did listen to X's music too. So yeah, I'm just excited all the way around. I'm ready not to sleep, okay, and just be sleep deprived for the next 72 hours. But he's not the only person dropping something tonight or at midnight. My baby Logic, Bobby Robert, is dropping Young Sinatra 4. Now, it was crazy because people were just like, man, Lil Wayne just came up in here and just took Logic's spotlight and all this stuff. But I mean, I feel like Logic is still gonna get his love and stuff like that from his release. But there's a lot of anticipation. Well, let me rephrase. There is anticipation. Like, I'm interested in hearing the album, but am I as hype as I was when he dropped the Young Sinatra 4 freestyle? Not as hype after hearing The Return and Everybody Dies, but I'm still looking forward to it because I do like Logic and his music. And that's also in addition to him having the Wu-Tang Clan all in one song. So I'm wondering how that's gonna go, how long is it gonna be, all that stuff. And then he also has Jaden Smith on a song called Iconic, I think it's called. So I'm more so like intrigued to see how these songs are going to go. But when it comes to Logic, there is something that I wanted to touch base on that I wanted to save for this episode in particular. I want to say like this year, maybe late 2017, you've had a lot of people just like wanting the quote old Logic back. And after listening to The Return and getting like the mixtape Logic feel, and you know, I was also one that was like, oh yeah, you know, we got the old Logic back on this track. But then after listening to Everybody Dies, I did some thinking. And I'm just like, you know, maybe Logic hasn't gone anywhere, the old Logic. I think it all just comes down to Logic growing up, evolving with his sound, with his music, the message that he wants to give to people. Because when you think about it, yes, people want that hard, raw, hip-hop sound, which I think people are anticipating on this album coming out, especially with the Wu-Tang Clan being on a song. But so many people stress that they want the old Logic back. But when you think about it, even from his mixtape days, through his album releases, coming up to, don't want to say coming up all the way to his Everybody album. No, because some people would argue that he started like sounding different earlier than that. So we'll just say, we'll be broad and say his album releases. Throughout those songs and projects coming out, he would give, you know, talk about his hardships and his personal experiences, being biracial, all that stuff. So it's just kind of like, in my opinion, how much longer can you talk about the same thing? And I want to say, you know, the quote old Logic was him making the come up, was him having to prove himself worthy to the rap game, to different people in the industry, to different audiences out here that would constantly like give him criticism and say he's trash, he's this, he's not that, all that stuff. I think that's the quote old Logic. But this new Logic, I'm doing a lot of air quotes here for the people that aren't watching, for this new Logic, I think it's just the one that reached his peak, reached his success, the one that is, yes, mainstream, and proved that with the songs, the 1-800 song and One Day and all that stuff. But I think that's just showing where he is now. So he has a different message for people now. He's gone through different experiences now. So I don't think we can really expect for him to keep talking about the same thing, if you're coming from that standpoint. But I think that's the only standpoint that I've been hearing about. Because I can't, and I feel like I can speak for a number of people when I say, like, you really can't discredit him for his work ethic and how hard he goes at promoting and releasing stuff. It may just not be the stuff you want to hear because you're used to one part of him, and this new part of him you're not feeling as much. So I mean, from that aspect, it's very understandable. But something that has to be, well, something that should be understood is that he has a newer fan base as well. So on top of the people that came from the beginning, in between, now there's a new fan base that he also has to appeal to. And I feel like he's trying to, you know, have the best of both worlds, or give us the best of both worlds. And I heard that clearly with The Return and Everybody Dies. You know, it was that, is this camera slanted? Sorry y'all, my camera looks slanted. If it's slanted, my bad. I can't really, well actually, maybe I can fix it for y'all. Hold on. Slick. It was slick slant. Ooh, that sounds like an ugly word combination. It was slanted. Anyways, but yeah, with The Return and Everybody Dies, you had that, well, I'll speak on The Return first. You had more of the rawness, that this is what I had to do to get here today, da 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 da. And then, like, at the split second, it felt like towards the end, it transitioned to follow your dreams. Like, don't let anyone stop you. Don't let society stop you from what you want to do. So I'm just like, wait, what happened here? What happened? But in a sense, because it also happened on Everybody Dies, I think that's just what he's trying to do. He's trying to appeal to both audiences. And, you know, in a way, it does suck for him because, you know, for people to be like, we want the old you back, da 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 da. Well, yeah, the old him, or I guess when he first started, that type of music did get him to where he is, but it also took him switching up what he wanted his music to portray, that also like took him over the top to where he was on award shows and stuff like that. So I mean, I think it's just a matter of, you know, are you going to adapt to Logic just growing up with music? And I always encourage growth and evolving when it comes to artists and stuff like that. You know, I try to keep an open mind, but of course at the end of the day I'm gonna have my opinion, and if I like it or if I don't. So I think when it comes to him, that's what it comes down to as well. So now it's just, you know, picking which album you're gonna listen to first, the Carter 5 or Young Sinatra 4. I mean, I think I'm gonna listen to it in that order, the Carter 5 and then Young Sinatra 4, just because, I mean, hey, the Carter 5's just been missing for a minute, you feel me? But anyways, still love Logic, everything like that. I'm more so, that's why I'm intrigued to hear the album, because, you know, I'm one of the people that's used to hearing like the raw side of him, but I'm trying to go into this, like I said, with an open mind. But he's not the only person dropping an album this weekend. We got on Saturday Kanye's Yandhi. So I have got to say, this man's visuals with the promotion has been so dope. It's like, I don't know whether to call it 3D, but I think 3D might be appropriate for that. He had one of the promotion videos on Twitter, and it had the mini disc like spinning and playing his track, which sounded, you know, I was here for it. I liked it. I liked what I was hearing. So, you know, it makes me wonder what type of production we're gonna get on Yandhi. I feel like we're gonna have, of course, sampling, vocal distortions, you know, some singing and stuff like that. But yeah, I haven't seen a track list come out at all, so going into this blindly, but I'm wondering if there's gonna be some features on here. I don't know anything. I haven't seen anything. That's why I don't know anything. And I feel like if there would have been a track list posted somewhere, it would have been all over the place and I would have seen it. So yeah, he's gonna be on SNL. I think he's gonna be performing some of his tracks on there, maybe like 1 or 2. I forgot how many songs artists perform on there, because I don't really watch SNL like that anymore. Now we're gonna transition into our 2-minute max, and it does involve Kanye slightly. So yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to Celine Hall. She commented on the last episode and she recommended that I get some note cards so that I don't like lose my train of thought and stuff. So, you know, really smart idea. We got it right here, as you can see. 2-minute max, my little chicken scratch handwriting, whatever. So yeah, let me go ahead and get the timer. All right, so 2 minutes max on this little topic, which I want to call being number 2 is okay. All right, so Kanye made a tweet, and that's where I want to kind of go with this. And the tweet said, today we're releasing Yandhi Saturday night. We know it will come in number 2 to my brother Lil Wayne, and that's lovely. The universe needs Ye and Wayne music at the same time. That was a whole tongue twister, and y'all, I had to redo that like 2 times, but the timer's still going. Anyways, I love that tweet so much because I just feel like we need more of that. We need more of that type of support when it comes to the music industry. And it made, of course, me and other people on Twitter think about Nicki with the whole Travis Scott situation. And so they were kind of mentioning her like, this is what you should have done. Like, it's okay to be number 2. And I'm like, you know what? That is such a good thing to talk about for a short period of time. Because I just feel like in the music industry, it's already tough. And it's especially tough when you're a black artist. There's just so much like that comes with it. And I feel like the least we can do is just try to like stick together with it, especially when you're already very successful and you've already had limitless amounts of success, concrete success in your career. Why does it matter if you come in number 2? It shouldn't whatsoever. So yeah, I got 30 seconds left, but to wrap it up, basically just, that's just life. You're not always going to be the top at everything. You're not always going to be number 1 at everything. Sorry, I just said about The Office. Michael would have said, that's what she said. Anyways, but yeah, that's all I had to say about that. We got 10 seconds left. I did pretty good. I did pretty good. I'm gonna stop it now. But yeah, I thought that was a little bit more of a, I guess, substantial thing to talk about versus the other thing I saw, which would have been about the LMA and is it Jacquees? That situation. I wasn't going to. So thankfully we had this right here. So now, to conclude, let us talk about albums. But this is really an EP, so not an album. But the only other project that I plan on listening to wrap up my weekend is going to be Super Clean Volume 2 by the Marias. If you have not heard of the Marias, I highly encourage you go look them up. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. They have this, I'm going to use this for the second time, this undeniably great sound when it comes with their vocals, the production. They have like this, it's a really like smooth, mellow vibe type of music, and I really enjoy their music. My friend Paul put me on, so if you want to like kind of prep yourself for this one, you can go listen to the Super Clean Volume 1, and then, you know, follow up with the second one. So other than that, oh, I didn't mean to say the Super Clean, but I was just, you know, you know what I was doing. Anyways, I think that is pretty much it, y'all. We did this. We did this thing in about 20 minutes. You did? All right, that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Beats and Bandanas podcast. And as always, you guys stay safe in these streets, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Listen, stop trying to be somebody else. Don't try to be someone else. Be yourself and know that that's good enough. Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to be like someone else. Don't try to act like someone else. Be yourself. Be secure with yourself. Rely and trust upon your own decisions, on your own beliefs.